Welcome to our YouTube channel. We cover your favorite stories in minutes. Hang out with us and don't forget to subscribe. The tale continues with motivational words from the Heavenly Demon. Lee narrates that he thought Iana was strong, but Heavenly Demon is on another level, even beyond comparison. Demon tells Lee that he has to gather points and access the tips board because he has prepared something for him there. Lee tries to talk to him more, but he vanishes, and Lee comes back to his room. However, Lee remembers his last words and motivates himself to clean his room after a long time. After cleaning the room, the only trash left behind was Lee. But to change this, Lee goes on a jog, but he was so hungry that he ate a whole bucket of chicken. He goes on a jog again and looks at the gym poster. He goes inside the gym, and the first thing he witnesses is an alpha male who is squatting 500 solid pounds. The coach Kim Deok-bae approaches Lee and tells him that he knows why he is here because Kim could smell the fried chicken that Lee ate. Lee was embarrassed, but coach tells him to start right away and they take a start with a light warm-up. He pushes him on a treadmill and Lee starts running. Meanwhile, coach motivates him to give his best. He yells at him to give his best even if he collapses. Lee was also giving his best to reach his goal. But this time, there was a coach who helped him with his exercise. After he had done his workout, Alpha gave him a compliment, and Lee felt overwhelmed. When Lee came back to home, he tries to access the tips board, but he was shocked to witness that he has to lose his weight in order to access the tip board. Lee Semin, who was working really hard to lose weight. However, despite his all efforts and hard work, he was not seeing any results, so he hired a trainer to get in shape. The scene shifts to him standing in a bathroom. He motivates himself to do his best again, and he sets on a mission to do light cardio with interval training. A girl looks at him and exclaims that she has seen him before. At first she thought a wild boar was charging at her, but she was mistaken. Lee was doing his pull-ups while a girl was looking at him. Finally, she tried to approach him and compliment him that he was working really hard. But Lee ignored her and told her that now he had to leave. This behavior really pisses her off because she made effort to talk to him. The scene shifts to Lee, who was thinking that the girl who approached him earlier, she must have at least surpassed the blue mark. Lee narrates that the raider are much stronger as compared to normal humans. Even the lowest grade raider is significantly stronger as compared to normal humans, because in his training days, raiders also get bullied a lot from seniors. And there exists an insurmountable wall. While he is jogging, that girl passes him and taunts him, calling him a fat uncle. Anyways, the scene shifts to Lee opening his laptop to see new posts, and he exclaims that Sister Iana was a very good person, even though at first she seemed like an angry person, but she was very chill and kind. Despite his true love and affection for Iana, Lee knew that she is someone too far out of reach for him. Lee measured his weight, and it was above 100 kilo. He got angry and used the restroom so that he could see some changes, but it was still above 100 kilograms. Well, after some time, he rechecked his weight and it was 99.9 kilograms. Lee was happy that he made a little progress. The site announces that Lee has gained 100 points because he achieved his goal. Suddenly, the greatest martial artist, Heavenly Demon Dokgo Cheonma, starts talking to Lee, and he teaches him some lessons. Moreover, he imparts transcendent skill to Lee and tells him to worship him. The name of the divine skill is Taijutsu Flow. Lee exclaims that Heavenly Demon Dokgo Cheonma treated aura as if it were a life form with a separate skill, and that was the answer all along. Finally, all of the training paid off, and Lee was sitting at the desk in the park, trying to concentrate so that he could circulate his aura levels through his body. He used the training style that Dokgo told him about. Dokgo Cheonma told Lee that aura flows like water in the body, and there are points in the body that block aura levels to flow. So Lee has to focus on those points and make the aura to circulate. Finally, he was able to circulate aura throughout his body, and finally he achieved his goal. The scene shifts to Taosan Academy, where one student tells his coach that there is someone to see him. The coach was shocked to witness that Lee has lost all of his weight. He was pleased to see Lee and tells him to celebrate with him and grab a drink. But Lee was there to take a look at his aura levels. The coach takes him to check his aura levels. But when Lee asks him to tell him his points, Koch tells him to take a look, and surprisingly, it was above 1,000. After all, the curse is lifted, and all it took was circulation training that Heavenly Demon told him about. The coach asks about his training, and Lee tells him that he just followed the pattern that once a guy owed him, and he stuck on that path. The coach suggests Lee to fight a guy who bullies everyone, and no one can fight, but he is sure that Lee could easily beat him. The scene shifts to the arena where both of the players are ready to fight each other. However, the other guy asks his coach about Lee's aura levels, and he was disappointed to hear that Lee has barely 1,000 aura levels. After all, the fight begins, and the guy charges toward Lee and throws a powerful punch at Lee, but Lee easily dodges his punch and strikes back. It was not surprising that Lee barely damaged him. Now the real match was started. The guy kicks Lee and throws him in the corner when he was about to land a final blow. Lee uses his grappling techniques and throws him on the ground. Lee narrates that raiders do not dedicate a lot of time to practicing martial arts. In the first place, they rarely have the opportunity to use martial arts because they are fighting against monsters that are not humanoid. That guy tries to kick Lee, but Lee stands up, and he dodges his kicks. Moreover, everyone was making fun of him because he was swinging his legs in the air. Lee punches him in the face, and he falls on the ground. Lee again uses his grappling techniques to defeat that guy, but he uses his other hand to punch Lee. Lee had no other options left, so he breaks his arm. The scene shifts to Lee running on a street and thinking that now he does not have to be too happy because he defeated that guy with no effort. And he was untrained, he was working really hard in the game. While two rookies approach him and ask him if he really changed his body in 3 months. Lee assures that he worked really hard to become like this. Then Rookie asks him if he could become like too. But Lee tells to meet director first. Kim Deok-bae takes both new members to his office and they came back traumatized. We don't know what that sus trainer did to them. Anyways, both new members were ready to become like Lee and they start their martial art training. Meanwhile, when they were exhausted, they look at Lee. He was using that old technique to circulate aura in his body.